Ramblin Reploids. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ramblin Reploids. My name is ColemanX, and as always I'm joined by my good buddy...
Twitch from Reploid REVO. How is it going, everyone?
Woo! We are back for another, and it's basically a follow-up to last time, where we are going to be talking about Kotobukiya kits that we want to see done in the future. And I've been wanting to touch on this for a long time, and I felt like after the last one, this kind of felt like the right step to go, you know?
The time was right.
The time was so right. We are going to skip, like, recolors, like Black Zero, Fake Zero, and...
Yeah, palette swaps are off the table, baby. We ain't going for that low-hanging fruit.
We want them, and if the line continues, they're coming.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not really worth discussing here, but we want them, baby.
We're also going to be excluding X's armors. And the reason why, and I do apologize for snatching this right out of your mouth, because I feel like you were about to say it, but it felt like you were just going to continue on with the episode, so I profoundly apologize.
Not a problem.
We're excluding X's armors because those are just kind of like I feel like everyone has an armor that they want. And so to just be like, I want the Falcon armor, like, it just kind of goes without saying. If the line continues and the line is successful, just like the recolors, more and more armors will probably come out. In fact, I think the next X armor that is going to come out, if one comes out at all, is either going to be the Falcon armor or the Shadow armor. I feel like those are the two most popular armors in the. That's my prediction. You can write that down, and if I'm right, you can tell me that I told you so. That's my guess. If the armors, like, if the line continues for the X series, the next armor is probably going to be Falcon or Shadow, because those two, I think, are the two most popular armors. They're the forerunners, because they already did the fourth armor, you know. So X5 is probably next up on the docket of things to make armors from. So that's my guess, is probably Falcon armor or Shadow armor. I know Shadow armor isn't in X5, but I'm sure they don't have a problem skipping around and just pick, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've already gotten an armor from 2, 3, 4, maybe. Oh, you know what? 1 is probably next. They haven't done a first armor.
Yeah, I was thinking it's finally time to do first and ultimate armor. Just get those out of the way, because especially with ultimate you can do recolors. But yeah. If the line continues, X is gonna get to wear lots of different clothes. Don't worry.
That's the point. So without further ado, I'm gonna go throw it back over to you. And again, I apologize for yanking the words right out of your mouth before you got a chance to say them.
You said it way better than I could have. But so we decided. Oh, I know. We decided to do something kind of more fun with this, and we each picked a kit that is likely, like, it's a character that would probably happen. And
it's our whiny wish list.
Whiny wish list. And then a semi-likely, you know, might happen, but maybe don't get your hopes up. And then just a never-ever, because those are fun.
One that we don't expect anyone to make a kit of, because it's fun to just imagine, like, man, how cool would it be if this was a model kit, or how cool would it be if this was a toy? Things that would never, ever happen, and so I can't wait to, you know, let our imaginations run wild and list the absolute most ridiculous things that you'd like to see as a model kit.
Yes. And, let's get into it. My first choice, which is likely, is going to be Vile Mark II. Everyone saw it coming for me, but...
Oh man, how did I know?
Come on, best Vile, and he needs to come back.
That's why I didn't say Vile, because I knew. I'm like, he's gonna say Vile, and I don't want to have repeats, so...
He needs to come back in model kit form. Like, that is how I knew him back in the day. You know, it's like he was from X3, whatever. But he's also this really weird, cool toy that I can't get a hold of. You know,
It's true. It's true.
I need to complete that circle, and especially after he appeared in Dive, and seeing like really detailed version of that from all angles. Like, I didn't know his shield was half pink. Who could have saw that coming? You know. So I think that vial would be just absolutely perfect. He's got like the shoulder cannon and the other shoulder small cannon thing. He's got, I mean, he could probably have like a blast effect.
I could definitely see them doing that. Like, I'm picturing they give him like a flame pillar or something to stick on the ground next to him, because he does that knee bomb thing. So definitely imagine they'd give him like the flame pillar thingy.
Oh, that would be perfect.
I don't know if they would make his knee, because does he still shoot it from his knee in X3, or
He
does it
shoots
come?
I think it comes from the knee, but I don't know if it opens like in Maverick Hunter X. You know.
Well, I know. Vial Mark 1, I guess, from X1 has the weird detachable knee, which
that's right, yeah.
which D-Arts turned into like a knee mortar. So like he kneels down, and then like his thigh kind of has like a gun barrel that like extends out of it. And so that's where he shoots his little like knee bombs from. Because in X1, the sprite, it doesn't really show you where they come from. Like his knee literally just detaches open, and then like a bomb falls out of it.
Yeah, it just kind of boops.
I think, what is it, Cyborg 004? It's one of the cyborgs from Cyborg 009. Has like a thing where he kneels down, and like his knee and thigh separate, and like reveals like he has like a missile launcher in there or something like that. It's one of those. So I think that's like an homage to that character. But for the X3 one, I'm not exactly, I don't remember how he deploys it. But either way, I don't know if they're going to go the extra mile and give him like a thing to show like, hey, this is where he launches the thing from. Like, because the D-Arts vial was like absolutely bananas with everything they gave him. But I think at the very least, a simple little fire pillar would absolutely be something that they would do, because it gives them a chance to print translucent plastic, and everyone loves translucent plastic. And it would look really cool, and it'd be like a really simple accessory that can stand on its own, that doesn't need any additional work. So, I don't know.
And he has to come with the shield. You know me and that shield. Like,
yes, I know you love that shield. They would finally give it like a handle so he can hold it.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the old Bandai kit did that. I don't even remember if it does that.
I don't have a clue.
He looks like a beetle when he has that thing on. There's a lot of bug iconography going on with Vile. Yeah, he looks like a beetle with that shield. And another thing is, you don't really get to see it very clearly, but it would be nice for more people to finally see Vile's like custom emblem. It's on his forehead, I think, in X3. But you don't really get a good look at it in any of the artwork. But it's really big, and it's on the back of his shield, or I guess the front of his shield that he wears on his back. So it would be cool to finally have that as like a, as like a kit or something. I don't know, it'd be cool. Vile in any capacity would always be a cool figure, just because he's such a cool character.
Does this Vile always have the red eye showing, or is it only sometimes?
I think he always has it showing.
Okay, alright.
Because, so Vile Mark 1, you never see the eye, except in the intro to X3, where like his eyes flash for like a second.
About to bring it up.
Yeah, you think I didn't know? Of course I knew.
And Ruby Spears?
And Ruby Spears does it too. Ruby Spears Vile also does it, because everyone thinks everyone knows it's the coolest thing ever if you can't see someone's eye, but then it ominously glows for like a second, so you can see it. I think it's actually both eyes in the intro to X3 for PlayStation, the animated opening, the anime cutscene that they do. I think he has both eyes, but then for Vile Mark 2, they actually give him like a camera lens that like slides around his helmet like a Zaku from Gundam.
It looks really cool.
It is really cool.
But I've been wanting this kit for a long time, and I know exactly how I would want to pose it. And it would be, okay, you know, in the intro to X5, when it shows the flashes from each game, and then the X3 one is X, like, diving towards Vile, like, with his gun pointing at him, and then Vile's, like, about to shoot upward, and it's, like, this really dynamic shot. Oh my god.
Those were some really great action shots for that opening cutscene. I forget the artist who did that. I don't know if it was Suetsugu who did those. I think it was. Maybe? I know someone.
And whoever did it, I love those.
But I remember reading an interview with that artist. Whenever we find out who did it, we'll put it on screen. There it is. But I remember being told that they contacted him to go and do the artwork last minute because they were like, oh, turns out we don't have enough footage to last till the end of the opening sequence. Can you just, like, make some artwork to fill in for here? And so, like, in a rush, he just, like, scrambled to put together this artwork. And I remember, like, you know, he got it done, and it was great. They were fantastic pieces of artwork. But yeah, they were, like, just fill it with random shots of artwork. And I think they instructed him, like, because this is going to be, like, I don't think it was, like, an anniversary game, but I think they were saying, like, this has lots of references to past stories. To make the artwork reflect that. And so he went with, like, dynamic shots of, you know, specific scenes from each of the X games up to that point, which I thought was perfect, and it was really cool. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why there's this confusion about Bit fighting Zero with his shield, because at the time when he was making this artwork, he didn't know that he didn't realize that you don't ever actually fight Bit as Zero, or, like, it's physically impossible because the game doesn't allow for it. And also that Bit doesn't use his shield in the game, but he was just like, well, he's got a shield, so, I mean, he probably looked up his official artwork for X3 and saw Bit was holding a shield, so he was like, yeah, of course he's gonna hold it. You know? Yeah.
I mean, like what else would Zero's X3 art be? Him getting destroyed by mosquitoes or something?
Mosquitoes. I figured it could have been like, oh my god, we could have had more official artwork of Mac. It could have been Zero.
Oh yeah, that would have been actually really cool.
That dumb purple guy. Like, I could see it in my head now of, like, Zero like chopping the little, you know, stun robot out of the sky, and then, like, it's the Zero, like okay, so picture this. So X is, like, falling from the thing as it explodes, like, and it's, like, split in two, and then Zero is, like, on the ground, like, you know, pinning the saber to the ground, and, like, he cut Mac in half in, like, one big, like, jump. So he, like, jumps up, and he just holds his sword out, Samurai Jack style, cuts the robot in half, and then falls down on Mac in, like, the same, like, you know, sword strike, you know, and just, like, boom, you know, so the thing is exploding up there, and he's falling on top of Mac with the sword out, and he's just cutting Mac in half, because screw Mac.
I can't believe my favorite part of X5 was rushed like that. At least it's got a good story. I love that art so much, but, I mean, I want that pose center on my shelf. I think it would be so cool.
Yeah, it's an excellent pose. It's really good piece of art too. Like, if you stop and look at those, number one, I think you can find them in the Legacy Collection gallery. I think they're on there. They're also, I think they were even on the PS2 gallery, which you can find the PS2 game. The PS2 Mega Man X Collection gallery is on Sprites Inc. If you go look up Sprites Inc., they're a fantastic website if you guys don't know who they are. They have pretty much every single Mega Man sprite in existence, as well as textures and other menu assets and things like galleries. So, like, you can see a lot of cool concept art, which for some reason was bafflingly left out of the Mega Man X official complete works. Some of it is in the PS2 gallery. So you can go there and take a look at that, which is really cool. But yeah, if you ever stop and look at that artwork, man, it's so good. I will want posters of those. They're so nice. But yeah, that Vile in X1 is so cool. I'm sorry that we're going on and on about this artwork, but you don't understand. Like, it's art. You know what I mean? So
yes. Okay. Let's get away from Vile. What do you got as your likely?
So, I didn't want to say Vile, because I knew you were going to say Vile. I was thinking Vile Mark 1, rather than skipping to 2, but either way, I'm sure one of those versions would be available. So here's my likely, and you know what? My likely might not be as likely as your likely, so...
Alright, let's like it.
Yeah, so my likely is Model X from ZX.
Oh, okay.
I am predicting a trajectory now that the Battle Network figures have come out, that they are going to try to get a representative from each of the main series, since they have demonstrated they have the rights to produce model kits of, each of these franchises, each of these series. So we've already got Classic. Classic has been long and overdone with for a long time. X Series is what they've currently got a lot of figures for. Now they're doing Battle Network, and so the next one's kind of on the docket and we've already got Mega Man Zero. A lot of people forget this, but they already did a Mega Man Zero figure, or model kit, like along with the classic ones, which I always thought were strange. Like, really? You did Classic and then you did Mega Man Zero? Like, skipped X? Like, I don't understand what happened there, but whatever. Okay, so that's most of the primary series out of the way, which means next would logically be Model X. Model X, and the reason why I say that instead of Volna is because Model X is it's more toyetic. He's got more details on him, and you can like put him together, and like he's got neat little things, and like the way both Ale and Vent are, you could easily swap just a handful of parts out and basically turn Vent into Ale or Ale into Vent. Kind of like what they did with Roll, where you had the original Classic Roll and then you had the Mega Man 8 Roll. So I feel like you can get two characters for the price of one, which is why I said Model X and not Vent or Ale, because I think you could do both. It would be like the kid versions of them, not the ZXA versions. And then even more so to the fact that they're easily swappable to create, to go from one or go to the other. But when they turn into Model X, not much actually changes about them. And so it would be very easy to just swap out a handful of parts, and bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a transformed Model X. So I think that would probably be a smart move, because it'd be really cool. Not to mention, creating Model X would also help them create the molds for any of the other biometals, because they all pretty much share common parts. Like, their forearms and legs, as well as like their pelvis region and jackets, are all pretty much the same. So once you've created Model X, all of the other ones would pretty much fall into place way easier, and I think that would position them in a place to, make other popular, Mega Man ZX characters, if that's something that they wanted to do. Like Jiro. Jiro is just wearing, I should say, Vent and Ale are just wearing Jiro's uniform, but in blue. So once you've made Vent, you could easily have Jiro, who is just wearing the same parts, but in red, as far as his jacket goes. The pants are white. So, it's like a recolor, but not, kind of like how Proto Man was. Like, the Proto Man model kit, believe it or not, is like 99% the Mega Man model kit that they released, but they just made custom runners for the differences that Proto Man has. And so it's really easy to produce that, because you don't have to go through all the extra work of, making new molds and stuff. You've already got it. It's like most of it is already there, and you just leave the person with a few extra, leftover parts.
Yeah, I mean, I would love that, because Model X is probably visually my favorite on ZX.
Same here.
So, I mean, that's perfect for me.
The design on its own just looks really nice, and I just feel that it would make for a very good model kit, personally. That's just how I feel. I think that if they just kind of went the extra mile with it and like gave you enough parts to transform it from, Vent to Ale, and then also the parts to make it into Model X, it would be a hefty model kit. I think it'd probably be like an $80 kit or something like that. But you're basically getting 3 figures for the price of 1, which, I mean, come on, you can't beat that,
And it already has the name Model in it, so it kind of writes itself.
Exactly. That's good marketing right there. See, Model X. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I get it." Hey, guess what? Guess what I just got? What'd you get? Well, I got Model X. Oh, really? Like a 3rd armor, 4th armor? No. Model X. Yeah, I know. Model X. It already exists. Which one did you get? No. He doesn't have any armor on. Oh, so like X Series X, like before he gets anything, no armor upgrades. No. Model X. Like, I'm sorry.
Who's on first?
Yeah, this became an Abbott and Costello-esque run around. But yeah, that's basically where I'm thinking. I just think that because, as I said, we've already gotten classic representation, X series representation. I guess technically Zero series. You know what I would like from a Zero series, just as like an aside, because he only did one model kit from that, which was just Zero himself. I would like Copy X and also a Pantheon. I think those would be really easy to do.
Oh yeah.
So I'm kind of confused why they never followed up on the Zero series. But I think after Battle Network, I think Model X could be a likely candidate, especially, and I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying this because it's already been hinted at multiple times from official sources that don't rhyme with Blodo Dude. Is from a famous book company that rhymes with Blue Dawn. They had mentioned that there might be a ZX and or Legends art book coming soon, and what better way to promote Mega Man ZX after an art book gets released than with a model kit? Because now you're raising awareness of the ZX series, and so this is all stuff that like companies really do plan to do. Is like, for instance, sometimes characters get featured in crossover games because they're trying to raise brand awareness of those series and those franchises and things like that. You know, so if you come out with like a book, you typically want to have as much merchandise that, you know, keeps those characters, those series, that franchise in people's mind. You know what I'm saying? Which is why after Mega Man 11 came out, they were like, oh, well, now strike while the iron's hot. Let's make a bunch of Mega Man 11 themed merchandise, as opposed to falling back on X series stuff. I mean, there is X series stuff, but the point is like, you try to release it all at the same time so that you keep that product and that particular game or that particular thing in consumers' minds. And so, I think if they're going to do a ZX art book in the future, which is what I hear is coming down the grapevine, then I think a model kit would be soon to follow. So that's it. That's all I got to say on Model X.
You got me excited about that. So
right?
Hopefully.
Could you imagine like a little mini Biometal X that you could stick in their hand? Come on, you already gave us the E-tanks and stuff.
That'd be adorable.
Wouldn't it be cool?
That would be cute.
It would be great. I love it.
Well, my semi-likely, I guess that's what we're calling this category.
Yeah, the medium likeliness.
Medium likely. I'm gonna go with treble boost bass, or basically the design from Dive.
Basically,
you know, I was gonna connect to when you said basically earlier, but then you went on to something else. I'm like, man, that wouldn't even make sense now.
I'm sorry. That is my fatal flaw, is that I never shut up. So,
dude, it's fine.
Ramblin'
Reploids.
That is why like I said, the show is called Ramblin' Reploids, not Concise Reploids.
But I love that. Like, they call it Super Bass on Dive. So if I say Super Bass, I'm not referring to Mega Man 7. I'm referring to Mega Man 8, Rock Band, and Forte. It's confusing.
I just had a really funny thought.
Oh boy.
Okay, so his name is Treble Boost or Super Bass, because I mean it makes sense, because if you think about it, when Mega Man gets the Super Adapter, he's Super Mega Man, right? So I always wondered, like, why the hell don't they ever call it, you know, Super Bass? But now I'm just thinking, like, there's Treble Boost, but, like, what if he was called, like, Bass Boosted? And then, like, and then Bass is known for being, like, loud and obnoxious and, like, very headstrong. But I just imagine, like, every time he opens his mouth, it's just, like, deep-fried memes. It's just, like, like, it's just... You can't make out anything he's saying. It's Bass Boosted to hell and back. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go whip up a clip of bass from the beginning of Mega Man 8, and I'm just gonna bass boost it into oblivion. You could stick it in here somewhere.
Mega Man, today we finish this.
Hey, Zach! Why must I fight you? We are not enemies!
Oh.
Sorry. Go ahead. You're talking about a model kit. I'm excited for this.
But like, I've never really been too much of a fan of the Mega Man 8 Rock Band and Forte version of it.
Uh-huh.
Until Dive, because they added like two marks on each side of his face, and it makes him look more treble, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it looks more like he's combined with him. It makes him look more feral. And that added so much, and I love it just to death. And
they took just enough of the Mega Man 7 design and like kind of sprinkled some of that feeling in with the Mega Man 8 version, which I really like that.
it's so good. And you know, I never noticed that the gems didn't turn red on that version. I'm so used to the Mega Man 7 one, where the gems turn red. But you gotta make sacrifices to get the really cool face tattoos. So I'm all for it. I want that version of Super Bass, and I want to have him posed when he's doing that beam attack that goes across the whole stage.
That would be
Like,
cool. Like, is
I
it the
love
finger
that
point or like the?
No, the one where he flies up about midway up and points the buster down and then
Oh, okay.
across the
Okay, yes. I don't know why, but you know what? Now that you say that, that makes sense. I was thinking of the when he uses the I forget what the name of the weapon is, the lightning weapon from Mega Man and Bass.
Oh yeah. I think it's just called like Thunderbolt or something. I love that one.
Yeah, I think it is Thunderbolt. That's a good pose too, though. And you know what? While I'm at it, I'm going to once again say they should consolidate Super Bass and Bass into one figure, because his design doesn't change much at all. It's very simple. It's just Bass with a backpack and different fins. And I guess a different faceplate with, like, you know, the...
Well, the stripes change colors, so...
They do, but I mean, like, that's... You just print another runner in a different color.
Yeah, as long as it's easy to switch out, then no big deal.
That's what I would assume. I mean, I know that I ever since they did that with Roll, I just kind of want them to do that with all of their kits, because it was so good. It was a great idea. So for Bass especially, he would just be like in yellow, and then just swap out the yellow for purple, and then you switch out his head fins, and then he becomes Treble Boost Bass, and then the backpack can just stick right on him.
Yeah.
Like, you probably don't even got to do anything crazy for that. So. You know, and of course the faceplate would just have different facial markings or whatever. But the point I'm getting at is, like, it would be super simple to swap that out. As a matter of fact, I have a friend who you guys have seen me play Mega Man 7 with. It's a very popular video. It was one of my earliest videos. I was playing with my good buddy Chris Forte, and they actually cosplayed Bass, the regular Bass, and then later went and upgraded their cosplay into Treble Boost Bass. So it was like a literal upgrade. And they were like, yeah, I didn't have to do any, like, you know, crazy additional work, because it's the same armor. I'm just swapping out some of the parts.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so it was a literal upgrade, and it was really cool, and I really like that story. And so if my friend can swap out an entire suit of foam armor, I think they can include a handful of detail parts to make Super Bass downgrade into regular Bass. That's my hope. That's my hope, because I don't think he would warrant a whole second figure, personally. Unless he came with, like, a lot of cool accessories, then maybe.
Yeah.
Then maybe. Then I'd be okay with it.
Then maybe. But, yeah, that's my choice. I gotta have that. I think it would be so cool to go, like, especially just pose it next to the D-Arts base. You know, just have them hanging out, being cool dudes.
Hanging out, being cool dudes, you know. Cool boys.
Alright, what do you got?
So, my semi-likely, I actually touched upon a little bit in my previous one, and going off of what I said before, if they are going to get a representative from each series, which is what I hope they do, I think ZX would be next on the list, but also Mega Man Legends!
Hey!
I think that Volnut should be a model kit. Volnut is so easy to make as a model kit because he's just cylinders. So not only is he, like, easy to understand, but he also already kind of looks a little bit like an action figure. And, like, I think that you could make for some really good posing with him if you just give him, like, ball joints in the right places and stuff. Like, he can have a great range of motion. He doesn't have the bulky shape of a lot of other Mega Man characters. And altogether, I just think he'd make for a fantastic model kit. And I'll tell you why. Accessories. If there's one thing the Legends series knows how to do really well, that's make accessories. My favorite thing about the original Bandai Mega Man Legends 2 model kits that came out years ago is that they just reprinted the same model kit like 20 times and just gave him a different weapon in each pack. So you could have Volnut with a drill arm, or Volnut with a sniper thingy, or like, you know, a missile launcher, or all these other different things that he had. Like, there's so many different weapons that they borrowed from. I think one of them was like the Powered Buster. It's like a giant cannon or something like that. If you wanted to go make a Volnut kit, preferably from Legends 2, because I think that one is the more popular design. Since the figure himself would be like so simple, since he's just spheres and cylinders and with, like, you know, a head, the only accessories I would really be requesting is probably like a helmet, so you don't have to have him with his hair only, so you can put on his helmet. Probably the only accessories I would really request from him is probably a helmet, so you can go from like his hair to his helmet, because obviously that's something that you can do in the games and that's really fun. And whatever special weapons you want, just give him anything. Especially the drill arm. The drill arm has to be at least one of the weapons. This is something that I actually did. I have the Sentinel 4-inch figure of Volnut, and I also, I think I mentioned this on a previous one, have one of the Kotobukiya MSG drill arm thingies. It's like a drill accessory meant for their robots, and I like jury-rigged it to fit onto his arm, so now I have a Volnut figure that can hold this gigantic, ridiculous drill arm. So I think a drill arm has to be there, because it's just really cool and very iconic, even though in the games it's not like the greatest thing. But that would be super cool, a lot of fun, and very easy to just make a whole bunch of arm parts that you could just swap out his arm with. Because that's part of the fun of Volnut, is that you can swap out his different parts. Probably make like alternate feet that give him like the roller skates, the jet skates. I think that would be really easy to do, because it's basically just slightly different feet. And so you can get a whole lot of customizability out of a relatively simple figure, and that would elevate it from just being like, I don't know, he's just a cylinder humanoid shaped guy, to like, oh my god, look at all these cool parts he comes with, and that would be like a whole lot of fun. Another request I have for parts is I need him to come with a can so that he can pretend to kick it. That needs to be included. A can and or like a refractor that he can collect, I think would be fantastic. You know, nice little accessories that, you know, don't necessarily have to like snap onto the armor. I think that would be really cool. So again, another model kit that has really, really, really strong accessorizing capabilities. And so I would love to see that done in like a model kit form. So after Model X, Volnut would be next up. I'm only saying semi-likely because I feel like ZX... I don't know if I'm right about this, but I feel like ZX is actually more popular and more like ingrained in like people's memory than like Legends is at this point, which is sad for me because I'm a Legends old head. But I don't know. I think either of them are pretty likely, but I feel like Legends would be far off, only because I think Model X makes for a more attractive model kit that looks cool and looks more interesting to build, rather than Volnut's very simple design. And so if you have a really cool, attractive-looking design, that might get a model kit over something more simple than Volnut, which is why I said they should capitalize on accessories to kind of make up for that, So that's my semi-likely. I think that he's not outside the realm of possibility, but I do actually put Model X ahead of Volnut.
Okay.
So that's where I stand with that.
Well, my never ever. I'm a bit excited.
Yeah, they'll never make it! Never ever! Can't you see they won't make it?
I implore you to reconsider.
we gotta just send a letter to Kotobukiya and just be like, we heard that you're not going to make any of these model kits. We implore you to reconsider.
I'll send a reply. Okay.
Okay. I'm glad we managed to sneak in a Kung Pao reference. We almost went a whole episode with that one.
Okay, well, I guess we can take it a step further, because the curly cues on her face do, you know, make me so hot I can't think straight, because I'm going with Barkana. That is a fun never ever. She has an amazing design.
Wow.
And
I'm so flattered that you picked her, because I was thinking Barkana, and I'm like, I'm gonna sound like a dork if I talk about her, so thanks for taking the heat from me. I love Barkana. Oh, I totally second this. I would love a Barkana model. Oh, we'd finally get to see what her legs look like.
That's the accessory I would want. It would just be like, you know, like her feet with the shoes from that one art where her legs are crossed. You know, because she has like a red Wizard of Oz shoe sticking out. So I'm like, there you go.
Yeah, Suitsuku like just barely gave us like a little tease of like what her toe attacker looks like, and her quote on that picture is, "You know, I do actually have legs under here," or something to that effect. So like, I just thought that was the funniest thing. It's like we have no idea what they look like, obviously, because she's always covered in that crazy dress that's always spinning around her. It's always flowing. And so it's just really funny. He drew this picture, and the only glimpse of what's under her dress that we get is just like a little tip of her red shoes, which, as you mentioned, I do think that is in fact a reference to the Wizard of Oz because they're red. You know, it's like the ruby slippers. So that absolutely makes sense, and I totally love that he included that. Yeah, us Berkana fans out here are still, you know, still wondering what the hell exists under her dress, and not in a gross way. We just want to know what the rest of her design looks like. It's always hidden, so we never know.
Oh, great. Now Berkana needs to come to dive and then get, like, a summer alternate. And then everything's answered.
Yeah. Her summer alternate is her wearing a sundress, so we still never get to see her legs.
No!
Foiled again!
But no, Berkana would be awesome. Just give her, like, her cool staff. And just, she's gotta have the, you know, the sign language for love hand pose, because that's how it is in the art. She does like the weird Doctor Strange hand poses when she's moving around. Oh my god, she's the Sorceress Supreme. I want Berkana. It will never happen, but I would love it to happen. Kotobukiya, balls in your court.
I can't see that happening. I would love to see her with like a DNA soul like accessory, like a little translucent plastic thing.
That would be so cool.
That would be really cool. You know, now that we're kicking open the door to the Extreme series, can I get Gareth or his lion? Like, I just want to. Yeah, just the lion, not even Gareth. He just gets kicked to the curb. You make Berkana ride the lion side saddle or something. Oh my god. Okay. So, like, now that we're talking about this, I almost don't want to even mention what my never ever is going to be, because now I'm just thinking of all the Mega Man Extreme designs that will never be made into a model kit, and I'm sad. Oh, man. I'm just telling you guys, if you've never played Mega Man Extreme 1 or 2, go look up the character designs for that game, because they're really, really, really good. If you like the character design aesthetic in Mega Man X4, Haruki Suetsugu did the character designs for the Extreme series, and he had a blast. He made really good characters, really good designs. Absolutely love them. Berkana and Gareth are like some of the best designed characters in the franchise, and they are relegated to a single game on Game Boy Color that came out years ago.
And it was never mentioned again.
Yeah, it's not even on like a collection or anything. It stinks, man. It's so good. Extreme is actually a pretty good series. I know people say that it's like, you know, not that great, but I'm like, they still managed to capture a pretty full Mega Man X experience on Game Boy. I'm like, I'm playing a Game Boy game with like wall kicking, you know, which is, it's got comparable hardware to an NES where like all we had was classic Mega Man, you know, and like you couldn't wall kick in classic Mega Man. So it was blowing my mind that they were able to like jam pack all these features that were supposedly like, well, this is only possible because we're on the Super Nintendo. And it's like, nah, bro, we're gonna make it happen on a Game Boy. You know, and they had these really nice anime cutscenes. Well, they weren't like anime cutscenes, but they were new artwork, you know, drawn for cutscenes. This isn't about the games. Model kits. Man, I really want Extreme characters to be model kits now. I want Gareth's nameless lion that he drew artwork for that never made it into the game to exist in a model kit form, because I feel like that would make Suetsugu very happy, because he loves that lion.
Oh, you know what? It's never ever, but maybe. Probably not. But I would love it to happen.
Yeah. I'm gonna say probably won't ever happen, because they're just not that popular, but for those of us who have good taste, we know that that would be a great character to have as a model kit.
Well, I'm really curious to hear your Never Ever.
My Never Ever is not so unlikely to never happen, but not because he's not unlikely to happen from like a from a popularity standpoint. He's not likely to happen for a logistics problem, like a logistics standpoint. You could not make a model of this character without removing part of what makes him.
Oh, let me guess. It's the giant head that grows out of the ground version of Sigma on X4.
No. No. Get out of here. I don't need floor mold Sigma to be a character, a model kit. No. I mean, any of Sigma's final forms probably could not be model kits. Let's be serious. But you know, I was thinking, like, what if the X5 like head Sigma was like a model? Like, that would actually reasonably be possible because it's just a giant head. Like, you know, it'd be a little weird, but it's possible from like a logistics standpoint. But who the hell wants that? So I mean, it'd be cool, but no. So my Never Ever character is General from X4.
Okay.
And the reason why is because, damn, look at him. He's huge. General's a big boy. He eats his vegetables. He's a big frickin' man.
Biggest boy. Hey, just do the opening cutscene with Sigma. I mean, with a hooded figure version of him.
With hooded mysterious Reploid.
Mysterious Maverick version 2.
Oh my god. So yeah, my choice is General because General and all the other characters in Replo Force, honestly, have really good designs. I am hopeful that maybe one day a Colonel and Iris might happen. You never know. Because they have really good, cool designs that would make for excellent model kits and would be a lot of fun to put together. Especially General, because he's got that awesome metal mustache. The problem is that General is like a million gazillion babillion feet tall, and if you were to make him into a model kit, I don't think you could, because he'd be like bigger than your desk. He'd like, when X is standing, like X, his full height is about as tall as General's like foot. And so if you were to scale that up to like his proper size, he'd be ridiculous. You could shrink him, but I want giant General.
That's what you do. You get a normal size, or maybe even smaller, and then you put him on the far side of your display, so it just looks like he's far away.
So you use some forced perspective.
Yeah, are children small or far away? You know, it's the logic.
I think if they were going to do one, they could probably get away with making like an extra large chunky boy. I think they could do it. But he definitely would not be to scale, and that's disappointing. But also a fair concession for the mere fact that if you were to make him to scale, he'd be absolutely enormous and not at all possible in any way, shape, or form. But that's my Never Ever is General, just because... like, if they were going to make General, I feel like they'd have to have made Iris and Colonel beforehand, because I think they're definitely the more popular of the characters. But also, even if they wanted to make General, they'd have to severely reduce his scale, because he just would be too large. He would indeed have to be, like, Sigma and like, the X4 intro, where he's talking to Sigma, and for whatever reason, General is, like, scaled down. Unless there was just some crazy, like, perspective happening in that house, I don't know.
Who's to say? But, a General kit would have to come with the best X4 character, which is General's chair. Rest in peace.
Yes, General is a big boy because he's been eating his veggies, and that gives him lots of gas, and when he stands up, he farts and destroys his chair. I'm not kidding, he does. He stands up from his chair, and he just kind of, like, flexes, and then, like, you know, you get, like, the fart with reverb, and then it destroys his chair. I don't know why General destroys his throne when you walk into the room. Maybe he's, like, pissed off at you or something.
It was our destiny to fart.
I have no choice. It just eradicates his chair. Oh, goodness.
Oh.
He's like, do you know where I got that throne, X? From IKEA, located on Earth. I can never go back. But that would be my choice. He wouldn't even need any accessories. He's already giant. I mean, we're talking like, have you ever seen like the really big Gundam model kits? Like there's this one, what is it, Xeon or Neo Xeon or whatever? It's like this giant kit, and you stick a little 1/144th Gundam inside of it. Like that's how big this thing is. It's huge. So, like, General would have to be that big, because, like, that's approximately, like, how big X would be. And that's not even, like, completely accurate, because the Gundams are actually a smaller scale than the X figure. So, if you were to make a General that is to scale to how big the X kits are, it would actually have to be even bigger than that Neo Xeon kit. Because, oh my god, forget it. It'll never happen. But I'll happily take a scaled down General, so that I can, like, you know, just have him kind of tower over other characters, like, just, you know, a little bit more. I'd be fine with that. I think that would actually be a fine compromise, just to say that you have a General.
You know what they need to do instead of General? They need to do mostly destroyed General, where he's just kind of floating around, missing a leg. Like, I think that would be hilarious.
He's destroyed, but he's still just as tall.
I know, I like that design, how he's just all beat up, but he's like, whatever.
Let's just bypass the problem entirely. We'll just make his throne.
There you go.
Just General's throne is a kit. None of the complications of the figure. Just the throne. I think that's fine. So that's my never ever. I love General. He's got a fantastic design. He'd be a really fun model kit to build because he's got all these neat little details all over him. He's really cool. Just all around perfect for a model kit, but he's just too damn big. So, but as I mentioned, I'll take a scaled down General if that means that we get to have one.
This was a fun list.
It was. And I think we're just about out of time, actually, unless you wanted to keep going.
I mean, I've got some honorable mentions, and maybe we'll touch on them later, but I just want to get them out there. I guess I'll just go through my whole list, and you can go through yours, and then that'll be it, I guess. I don't know.
Alright, let's get them out there. Let's birth these ideas into the world, and then maybe we'll discuss them in the next entry.
But like I said earlier, Black and Fake Zero, and then we covered all of X's armors. You know, those are a given.
Yeah, X's armors and recolors are all off the table. Those will probably eventually be made at some point. We're talking about things that aren't just, like, the givens.
But, Bit, Base, Dynamo, Ix, Super Mega Man, God Car Machine as a big stupid idiot. I would love it. Axel.
Is that one going to be filed under
yes.
Never?
Axel, White Axel, Jello Man, Green Biker Dude, that made up purple character from X3.
Yeah, whoever that guy is in the intro.
Who? I don't even know. And then, of course, Boob Eyes. You gotta have him.
Boob Eyes! He would actually be a great model kit. I could see that being a lot of fun.
Yes. So, what do you got on your honorable mentions?
So on my honorable mentions, I also have Axel. I think that I actually would put him in the category as, like, likely. I think he's probably going to happen. I didn't mention him because I just figured he's probably going to happen. So yeah, Axel, I put him as an honorable mention, but yeah, Axel I would like to see, because we don't have any Axel figures anywhere except for those old Jazzwares ones. So I had Colonel and Iris as well as my honorable mentions, because I think I hinted at that with General. I think it's about time we actually got some villain characters that aren't Vile. No offense to Vile, but I mean, like, come on, let's have some variety. Colonel and Iris would be awesome. Also, we don't really have any female characters either, so Iris would be a nice addition. Alia would be fun, but I don't think she's that popular, so I don't think it's going to happen. But I would love to see an Alia figure. I think that would actually be really cool to have some more variety. You mentioned Dynamo. Dynamo's on my list as well. Dynamo would be really, really awesome. Now, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. This isn't a character, but I would love any Ride Armor and any Ride Chaser.
Do it.
If they just made that a kit. I don't care which ones they make. It doesn't matter what game it's from. If they made it, I would buy it, because that would be freaking awesome. I want Kotobukiya to kind of pick up the old spirit of the Mega Armor series, where they were just making all these iconic, you know, like they were bold enough to be like, yeah, we're gonna make a ride armor. So like, I would love it if Kotobukiya went and did that too. Anytime you can stick two model kits together and they form an even bigger and better model kit, that's like the coolest thing in the world. That's why Transformers are so popular.
That's why I picked God Car Machine.
Well, he kind of fuses in a non-mechanical way. He just kind of morphs into this weird kitsune fox demon bell creature. I don't know what he is.
He's a mess, and I love him.
But yeah, God Car Machine. I would like it if God Car Machine Oinari became a kit, just because I'd love to see the reactions on people's faces when they see that name, and they're just like, the what?
Why would I pay $300 for this? Who is this?
What is this? Yeah, it would have to be like a $300 kit. No, but my honorable mentions: ride armors, ride chasers. Make any of them. It could be the Cheval, it could be the Adeon, it could be the nameless one from X7, which maybe they'll finally give it a name. It could be anything. The Barius, the Sirius, any of the ones that exist. Give me any of the ride armors. I would love to just stick a figure in a ride armor. It'd be so cool. Just do it. Give us cool accessories. I love accessories for figures, and I especially love vehicles for figures. I grew up in the 90s, but dang it, I got the spirit of a kid in the 80s who had to buy every single G.I. Joe and vehicle to slap their characters in. What is it? I can't think of any of the G.I. Joes, but I'm thinking of all the cheat commandos from Homestar Runner. I remember all of their names, and I'm like, yeah, I want to stick Gunhaver in the super tank, and I'm like, wait, no, Gunhaver's not a name. What about, was it Fight Gar? That one I can't tell if Fight Gar is a cheat commando or like an actual G.I. Joe. I know they all had really crazy names at some point, but I'm gonna go with Gunhaver. I want Gunhaver to be in like a vehicle. That's my mindset. Making playsets and vehicles is the coolest thing ever, and I feel like too many companies have like forgotten how to do that, and all they do is they just make a figure that has a face attached to it. But if you make a playset or something that you can stick that figure in that you've already made, that elevates it to like a whole new level. So I really hope that they are bold, and I hope that they go and make any ride armor or ride chaser. That is my spiel, and I'm finished.
I am tapped out. But now, viewers at home or wherever, the ball is in your court, because what we want to do is see kits that you want to see, and we're gonna pick a couple and discuss them next time. So sound off in the comments. Who do you want to see? Maybe why? What sort of accessories would they come with? You know, just whatever. You saw the episode. You know how we do.
Exactly. Do what we did. Give us a list of characters you want to see. Maybe they're not characters. Give us a list of, things that you want to see, like maybe a Dr. Light capsule or something to that effect. And, just tell us what kind of model kits you would like to see Kotobukiya make. Tell us why and what accessories they might come with, if any. And we'd like to talk about them on the next episode. And with that, I am done.
Yeah, me too. Thank you all for coming. Twitch, thank you for the laughs. This was a really fun one.
Of course, I was very happy to participate.
All right, well, join us next time. Bye-bye.
Take it easy.
Hey, thanks for watching. Huge thanks to our guest editor, SilBee. Thanks, buddy. And as always, big thanks to our channel members: SilBee, Dunno, Sigma, Duckman, Dornor, Masterman, Adachi, Darupi, Aiden, Sprinkwing, and the rest of our supporters. Let us know in the comments what kits you'd like Kotobukiya to make. We'll pick some out and discuss them in the next episode. See you then.